Hey guys, Zach Say with Zach here. So, AHL action is over for Saturday, January 18th. So, we got the scores and the updated standings right here. Again, I do have some American Hockey League t shirts on the way, so I will be able to wear something other than National Hockey League when I'm doing these reviews. So, hopefully, those get here soon, and this week I will have them. I'm wearing the Washington Capitals jersey because some big news came out of Hershey, which is their farm team. So, go ahead and get into the scores. The Rockets go in and beat the Moose 3-0. So the Rockets get back into the winning column, still staying relevant and not dropping too far out of a playoff spot right now. Manitoba, yeah, that's a big loss. They are struggling to stay relevant in this really tight Central Division. Yeah, so they need to get a big bounce back here. And again, me and Kitty Commentary are going to the Chicago Wolves Manitoba game February 2nd, I want to say it is. It's a Saturday night game. It's in Chicago. We're looking forward to that, and I will do a little review of the arena there too, like I did for Van Amdel Arena for the Griffins. But it might be the new version. So, went to Little Caesars Arena, working on a new kind of arena review video for you guys. I'm gonna post that, see how it does, and I might do all arena videos like that. So we'll see. Sidetracked. Sorry, really bad doing that. Squirrel mode right there. Anyways. So Charlotte goes in and beats Toronto 4-3 in the shootout. Marchment gets 3 goals for Toronto, which was very surprising since they ended up losing. Big win for Charlotte. They are back in the top 3 of their division. So Calder Cup champions from last year, back in a playoff spot. They do play again, I believe, tomorrow night too, Toronto and Charlotte. So we'll see who wins that one. That can be another big win for Charlotte, or a big win for Toronto. Big games for both those teams. Next game, Providence goes in and beats Bridgeport 3-1. Ricci with 2 for Providence, so Ricci gets 2 points for Providence. Helps him get that win over Bridgeport. Bridgeport being one of the worst teams in the division, they needed to win that game, and they are tied with the Charlotte Checkers. So, again, big game tomorrow for Charlotte. The Senators go in and beat the Griffins 4-3 in a shootout. Again, Griffins staying relevant, get another point, tie the Stars for 42 points. Again, Griffins are trying to stay in the race, stay relevant, and hopefully make the playoffs this year. The Senators, again, they're second in the division. They're 4 points up on the Americans, so good work for them as well. Hershey goes in and beats Hartford 5-4 in overtime. Christian Juice, again, if you guys have watched the Capitals over the years, you've seen him play a few times in the NHL. He has 100 goals for Hershey now, so he has hit 100 goals in the American Hockey League, so good for him. He's got a few in the, I believe he's got a few in the NHL as well, so he's making it in a couple different levels, so good for Christian Juice and for the Hershey Bears, who are only 2 points now of Hartford with that win. So if they would have won that in regulation, only 1 point, but since they won it in overtime, they get the point. Iowa goes and beats San Jose 4-3 in overtime in Iowa. Skolov scores 2 for Iowa, so Iowa gets two of their goals from the same guy. Again, Iowa is trying to stay above everybody else in the Central Division. They're not going to probably catch Milwaukee, but they can at least keep that second spot locked in for themselves. With this kind of play, they will do it. Utica goes in and beats Cleveland 6-2. Cleveland Monsters are still struggling with the fact that a lot of their players are still up in the NHL with the Columbus Blue Jackets, which is showing that they have a lot of depth in this organization. Again, you can see it here. Columbus Blue Jackets are in a playoff spot right now, thanks to how much depth the Cleveland Monsters have had brought up from them. So Cleveland Monsters are struggling because of that depth is being tested at the NHL level. Utica gets the 2 points. They stay ahead of the Senators, so that's good news for the Utica Comets. They are starting to separate themselves pretty far from the Americans. I remember at one point when I first started this, the Americans were atop of them in the standings. Not anymore. They are now 6 points out of them. So good for the Comets. Syracuse goes in and beats the Devils 6-5, ending the Devils, I think it was like 8-game winning streak or something like that, or 9. It was a ridiculous winning streak that the Devils were on. That is over. Volkov gets 2 goals for the Crunch, so the Crunch get a much needed win. They've been struggling as of late. They get a big win. Stay kind of, I wouldn't say relevant. I think they're pretty much done. They're 10 points back of the Senators, 6 points back of the Americans, and 4 points back. So I guess they're not done, but again, it's a tight race in that Central Division. Next, the Phantoms going to beat the Americans 4-0. So this is what I'm talking about. The Americans need to start picking up because they've been dropping. Again, when I first started this standings for the American League, they were first in their division. They've dropped down to third and only 2 points ahead of the Rockets and the Marlies. So they need to figure out their stuff now. So the Americans are struggling. The Sabres have been iffy lately. So both those teams are struggling with depth problems. Chicago goes in and beats Milwaukee 4-1. So big game for the Chicago Wolves. They get 2 points over the best team in the league. Quinny, I believe I'm going to say it's Quinny. 2 goals for the Wolves. He had a big game for the Wolves. They are still giving the Iowa Wild some trouble with 6 points back of them for that second spot in the division. Again, me and Kitty Commentary will be going to see them. Hopefully, we're planning again for February 2nd. We're going to Chicago to see some people. We're going to that game as well. So it'll be fun to go to the arena again and do a nice little review for you guys. Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins go in and beat the San Antonio Rampage 4-3 in a shootout. Bellavere has 2 goals for the Pens, so good for him too. The Rampage, again, they are still in this race down here in this division. It's just, it's getting tight. Same with the Penguins. They are still in it, but also getting a little tight. The Roadrunners go in and beat Ontario 2-1 in overtime. Firk gets a goal for the Reign, so Martin Firk, who's going to be an all-star, does get a point, gets a goal, so he's still doing good, even though the Reign have been struggling a lot lately. And the Roadrunners, again, get a little bit more distance between them and the Heat, which is good because Stockton ends up losing tonight. In that case, the Eagles do beat the Heat 4-3. O'Connor gets 2 goals for Colorado, and Cernak gets 1 for the Heat. Again, I like Austin Cernak. I like to see when he's on the board. I'm going to mark that every time he's on the board. Sorry for those who don't like him. O'Connor, again, 2 goals for Colorado. They are big win for them, especially in regulation, because they are trying to catch the Heat for second in that division. And then your last game of the night is San Diego beating Bakersfield 4-3. Granlund has 2 for Bakersfield. The only 2 of the 3 for Bakersfield, but San Diego ends up big win. They need those. Again, I don't see them making the playoffs. They might if they can keep this up. They could possibly make the playoffs. They need a few more wins. They have leapfrogged the Condors and only 1 point back of the Reign. It's after that they start getting to the point where they need to get some more consistency in order to make the playoffs. But anyways, those are your scores for Saturday, January 18th. We'll jump over here and look at the standings real quick. In the Atlantic, the Wolfpack are at 55, Hershey's at 53, Checkers at 49, Bruins at 49, Thunderbirds at 46, the Penguins at 43, Phantoms at 41, and Sound Tigers at 35. In the North, you got 54 points for the Comets, 52 points for the Sounders, 48 for the Americans, 46 for the Marlies, 46 for the Rockets, 42 for the Crunch, 39 for the Monsters, and the Devils have 38. Even though they went on a huge winning streak, the point streak, they are still at the bottom of the division, which, yeah, is very surprising. In the Central, you got the Milwaukee Admirals at 62, which are, again, your leading team in the American Hockey League. The Wild have 51 points, Chicago 45, Stars with 42, Griffins 42, Ice Dogs 40, Manitoba Moose 38, and the Rampage in last place with 37. And then your Pacific Division, last but not least, right? Roadrunners 55, Heat 51, the Eagles 46, Ontario Reign 39, 38 for the Gulls, 37 for the Condors, and the Barracuda at 31. They are moving up, though. They have been getting points and starting to pull themselves out of the bottoms of the league. They are only 4 points back of the Sound Tiger from being dead last in the league. Anyways, those are your standings now for Saturday, January 18th. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, this has been a lot of fun keeping up with this stuff. We have a lot of fun stuff coming this way, especially hockey card breaks, new jerseys, new t-shirts, all sorts of fun stuff coming this way. Again, hope you guys like the videos. Give us a like and a subscribe if you do. This is Zach from Say What Zach, and I will talk to you guys again soon.